On the morning of July 10th, 2025, 39-year-old Jennifer Harris reported to work at the McDonald's where she had dedicated the last 15 years of her life. The restaurant, located along 9 Mile Road in Eastpointe, Michigan, was part of her daily routine. Not just a job, but a place she managed with commitment and care. Jennifer wasn't just a long-serving employee. She was also a single mother of 6 children, 5 daughters and 1 son. With her husband incarcerated, she carried the full weight of parenthood on her shoulders. She was known to be a loving, hardworking mother who poured everything into providing a better life for her children. But that morning turned into a tragedy. Before 8 a.m., a 911 call was made reporting a violent incident at the McDonald's. When emergency responders arrived, they found a woman suffering from multiple stab wounds. She was immediately rushed to the hospital. That woman was Jennifer Harris. Her family, having caught glimpses of the horrific scene on social media, rushed to the hospital, but by the time they arrived, it was too late. Jennifer Harris had succumbed to her injuries. The loss sent shockwaves through the community. Friends, coworkers, and customers mourned the death of a woman who had been a constant presence in their lives. As detectives began their investigation, the pieces began to fall into place. Authorities soon identified the prime suspect, 26-year-old Afeni Badu Muhammad, an employee hired by Jennifer herself. Afeni's time at the restaurant had quickly become problematic. According to those who worked with her, she was unqualified, had a poor work ethic, and regularly displayed a bad attitude. Rather than focus on her responsibilities, Afeni often used her time to film TikTok videos, openly expressing that she wasn't there to work, only to collect a paycheck. Jennifer, in her role as manager, addressed these issues by writing Afeni up, sending her home, and keeping documentation of her misconduct. Witnesses say that on the morning of the attack, Afeni's shift began like any other. But after another episode of disrespect and unprofessional behavior, Jennifer sent her home once again. Instead of leaving for the day, Afeni briefly exited the building, only to return shortly after, wearing a face mask. The only part of her body visible were her hands, which her coworkers instantly recognized. She walked directly toward Jennifer and, without warning, began stabbing her repeatedly. Staff members attempted to intervene, but Afeni was relentless, targeting Jennifer with fury and precision. The brutal attack unfolded in front of horrified coworkers and customers just before 8 a.m. One of the customers, a man waiting in the drive-thru, happened to be a licensed concealed pistol holder. He witnessed the scene, fired a warning shot into the air, and quickly exited his car. He then managed to hold Afeni at gunpoint until police arrived and took her into custody. Afeni Muhammad was later charged with first-degree premeditated murder and unlawful possession of a weapon. She entered a not guilty plea and is currently being held at Macomb County Jail on a $25 million bond. Her probable cause hearing is set for July 23rd, followed by a preliminary examination on July 30th. Investigators later discovered that just days before the attack, Afeni had posted a bitter rant on social media. She complained about being sent home early 2 days in a row by Jennifer, calling her a bully and venting. This isn't funny. She needs to understand that just because she's a mother and got children doesn't mean that she can come in the store disrespecting people, talking to them like everybody's beneath her. She has no respect. According to law enforcement, the final argument between Jennifer and Afeni occurred shortly before the stabbing. Afeni left for only 5 minutes before returning, masked and armed. Jennifer's family described her as selfless and hardworking, someone who did everything she could for her kids. She was the best mom anybody could ever ask for, one child said. My mama woke up every day and went to work for us. She died trying to take care of us. Now, her 6 children are left grappling with the unimaginable loss of their mother, victims, too, of an act of senseless violence that tore apart their world. Jennifer Harris was remembered not only as a manager and a mother, but as a kind and dedicated woman whose life was tragically cut short while doing her job. May her soul rest in peace, and may she get the justice that she deserves. The tragic story of Jennifer Harris offers several powerful and sobering lessons. 1. Workplace conflict can escalate dangerously if ignored. This case shows how unresolved tension and disrespect in the workplace can spiral out of control. Jennifer did the right thing by documenting misconduct and enforcing discipline. But Afeni's growing hostility and public rants were red flags that might have needed more urgent intervention, possibly even from law enforcement or mental health professionals. Number 2, violence can come from unexpected places. Jennifer hired Afeni and tried to manage her professionally. Yet, despite warnings and discipline, Afeni responded with extreme violence. This is a reminder that people who appear disgruntled or unstable should be taken seriously, especially when they exhibit aggressive or threatening behavior. 3. Single parents carry enormous burdens. Jennifer's life was a testament to the struggle of single parenthood. With her husband incarcerated, she bore the entire responsibility of raising 6 children while managing a demanding job. Her story reflects the strength and sacrifice of many single mothers, and it reminds us to appreciate and support them in our communities. 4. Community protection can save lives. The quick action of the armed bystander, who fired a warning shot and restrained the attacker, likely prevented more harm. While not every situation calls for civilian intervention, this shows how trained and responsible individuals can play a role in protecting others during emergencies. 5. Social media can be a warning sign. Afeni's angry rant on social media, where she accused Jennifer of bullying and claimed she was disrespected, gave insight into her unstable mindset. This highlights how online posts can serve as early indicators of deeper issues, especially when they include hostile or threatening language. The impact of violence goes far beyond the victim. Jennifer's death didn't just claim one life. It left 6 children motherless, devastated a community, and forced a workplace to confront trauma. Every act of violence ripples outward, affecting families, coworkers, and entire neighborhoods. Here are additional lessons we can draw from the tragic story of Jennifer Harris, expanding beyond the initial ones. 7. Mental health issues must be taken seriously, especially in the workplace. Afeni's erratic behavior, poor work performance, and explosive social media posts suggest possible mental or emotional instability. This case highlights the importance of having mental health support systems in the workplace and creating avenues where struggling employees can seek help before things escalate. 8. Documentation and accountability matter, but may not be enough alone. Jennifer followed proper managerial protocols. She documented Afeni's behavior, issued warnings, and took disciplinary action. While this was the right thing to do, the case shows that documentation alone doesn't guarantee safety, especially when the person involved poses a genuine threat. It underscores the need for escalating serious issues to higher authorities when behavior turns hostile. 9. Leadership can be lonely and dangerous. Jennifer was doing her job as a manager, holding people accountable and ensuring professionalism. But leadership often comes with emotional tolls, especially when you have to confront difficult employees. This reminds us that leaders also need protection, support, and outlets when dealing with ongoing hostility. Number 10. Respect in the workplace is essential. This tragedy shows what can happen when basic respect between colleagues breaks down. A healthy work environment requires everyone, managers and employees alike, to foster mutual respect, healthy communication, and conflict resolution skills. 11. Never ignore red flags or threats, verbal or nonverbal. Afeni's public complaints and her growing anger toward Jennifer were visible to others. This teaches us to take hostile behavior, threats, or erratic speech seriously, especially when they are directed at specific individuals. They should be treated not just as outbursts, but potential cries for help or warning signs of deeper danger. 12. The cost of violence is immeasurable. Jennifer's death didn't just end a career, it shattered a family. 6 children lost their only parent. This case reminds us that violence leaves permanent scars, not only on those directly involved, but on loved ones, coworkers, and entire communities who must live with the aftermath.